on the right side going for Billy Maroney. He gets separated by one Philadelphia Textile player. A whistle on the play, and I believe we have a push on Maroney, so Textile will be coming back the other way. And the numbers are very, very small, and they're from a far distance. And we're going to have some problems bringing to you exactly who's doing what, but we'll do the best we can. Now, ball headed up by Graziano Cornolo, and it just hits the net over the scorer's table. So we're going to have, I believe, instead of having a throw-in, we're going to have another whistle, elbowing called. Graziano Cornolo elbowing Howard Chin. And we have a direct kick by Steve Perillo, the back out of West Islip, New York, right about 5 yards inside the Connecticut territory. And here's the direct kick coming right in front, looking for the header is Howard Chin, but it's headed away by Graziano Cornolo. Connecticut Huskies controlling. This is Carlos on the left side, chipping it up for Pedro Librito. Whistle on the play and a push from the behind by Tim Colleen. And the Huskies will have a direct kick right inside their own territory. Clock running 44:02 to go in the first half. We're just underway here. Harold Darak along with Mark Boudreau at Alumni Field in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Carlos controlling the ball, trying to chip it in Elvis Conley. Hits it off the back of the Philadelphia Textile player, and Philly controlling, kicking it deep into the zone is number 9, Tim Colleen. But coming out to make the play is Jimmy Renahan, and he outlets it via his right arm to Eric Myron on the right side. Myron over to Graziano Cornolo, almost stolen on the play by Andy Wall, but John Brubacher immediately comes up with it, and the pass goes out and away to Graziano Cornolo. Cornolo up to Charlie McSpirit. The ball now kicked from behind by a Textile player, Tom McDonald. Ball now out and loose, and coming up with this, Carlos along the left sideline. Carlos chipping the ball down deep downfield for Elvis Comrie. Comrie seems to have a break, chipping it in for Pedro Librito. Did not break fast enough, and Philadelphia Textile clears it out to Carlos. Carlos looking to get it into the penalty area, but it's cleared away again by the Textile zone defense, and they're controlling the ball and coming downfield. Nice sliding tackle by Carlos to steal the ball away. And controlling it now is Charlie McSpirit. McSpirit up to Myron, and the Connecticut Husky offense will start up. This is Carlos downfield looking for Elvis Conley, but he kicked it behind him. And defensive player John Short, who hails from Kearney, New Jersey, kicks it downfield where Charlie McSpirit will race for it.
We might mention, Harold, that this is a multi-purpose facility here. It's a baseball field and a soccer field, so that part of the left side of the soccer field, as we view it, is all dirt, and it's also smaller than Gardner Dowfield, 67 by 110.
We have an elbow on Steve Perillo, the Connecticut Huskies, with a direct kick about 10 yards outside the penalty area. And getting ready to set that one up is Charlie McSpirit. Huskies gathering around the goal mouth, getting set for probably their best opportunity for scoring in the game so far. McSpirit now waiting. Here it is, a lobber in front. And looking for the header is Maroney. He's headed up in the air. Whistle. I believe Maroney's going to be called for a push. Since he did not go for the ball, he went for the man. It's going to be a direct kick right outside the goal mouth area for Philly Textile. Mind you, our next broadcast will be a doubleheader on Saturday morning and afternoon. 10 o'clock, the UConn Huskies traveling to Providence, Rhode Island to face the Rams of Rhode Island. And then that afternoon, the Connecticut Husky football team, coming off their loss to Boston University, will be playing the University of Rhode Island Rams in their last Yankee Conference match of the year. Myron controlling the ball, kicking it deep downfield for Billy Maroney, headed away by a Philly Textile player, and controlled by Billy Gunther. Gunther kicking the ball downfield for a breaking Howard Chin. Chin one-on-one with Graziano Cornolo, and Cornolo comes up with the ball, sends it back to Renahan, who just makes the save before it goes over the goal line area. Renahan playing being marked very tightly by Tim Colleen, but he manages to throw the ball out, looking on the right side for Pedro Librito, but he didn't kick it out or throw it out far enough. Headed away by number 8, Andy Wallen. Controlled now by Philadelphia Textile. This is Sean Fright. Fright, the leading goal scorer for the team, passing it into Tom McDonald. McDonald right around the center field position, passes it back to John Short, almost stolen by Bill Maroney, kicked out of bounds, and they'll go the Connecticut's way on the throw-in. We should mention right now that Philly Textile with a lot of tall players, most of them in the 6 foot to 6'4" area. Their tallest player being their goalkeeper, Michael Hughes, who is all around that goal right now. Eric Myron, deep in the Philly Textile area, gets the ball run off him by John Short. Short sends it back to Hughes, and he will start things up via his foot right from the goal mouth area. Headed away by Graziano Cornolo. There's a race war between Jimmy Lyman and number 9, Tim Colleen. Looked like a handball call. No whistle on the play. Ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Lyman, and we're going to have a throw-in for Billy Gunther. Gunther is a junior out of Central Islip, New York. Stands at 6 feet, 165 pounds. One of the taller players. Matching up size for size, the Huskies are just a little bit shorter. 30 minutes, 23 seconds to go here in the first half. Gunther will have a throw-in, and the cheerleaders for Philly Textile are really whopping it up on the sidelines. Gunther now getting set. They're looking at their probably best scoring opportunity today. He's supposed to have a very powerful throwing arm. And now Gunther going to throw it. Jimmy Lyman stepping up in the air, and I believe he might get a yellow card for delay of game. Let's see what they're going to say. Referee going over to talk to Jimmy Lyman, probably telling him he can't do what he was trying to do. But all he was trying to do was jump up and stop Gunther from doing anything with a long throw-in.
He is forewarned, so if it happens again, I'm sure he will get the yellow card.
Gunther's going to try one more time. He's warming up like a baseball pitcher, using a little spin on his hands, and here he goes. And again, Jimmy Lyman does the same thing, and referee again telling him to go down. But Lyman arguing that he was getting ready to throw the ball in the air, and he has the opportunity to jump up, but the clock is now stopped at 40 minutes exactly. And here goes Gunther. Lyman's standing right in front of him. Gunther throwing it deep into the goal mouth area, looking for a header. Jimmy Lyman, Jimmy Renier coming up with the catch, as there was Tom McDonald and Tim Colleen deep in the zone, along with Steve Perillo. But that throw-in almost went into the goal. But Jimmy Renihan was there to make the save, and Connecticut takes control of the ball. With it on the right side, John Brubaker, as the ball goes over the touchline. Brubaker gets it into Carlos downfield for Elvis Comrie, and Comrie almost being stopped by John Short, but he gets a pass over to Carlos one more time. But that play is broken up by Tom McDonald, and Philly Textile will control the ball. Philly Textile deep in their own zone, passing the ball around between teammates, chipping it up into the Connecticut area where Charlie McSpirit will get it. Going for it was Howard Chin. Chin couldn't get there fast enough, and McSpirit takes the ball and kicks it right back into the Ram zone for number 7, Pedro DeBrito. DeBrito going man-to-man with Billy Gunther down the left side, trying to chip the ball in the middle. He does so, but I believe we're going to have the first offsides violation of the match. Correct me if I'm wrong. Wait 1 minute. There's a whistle, I believe. No offsides, but they're going to call a push before the kick on number 6, Billy Gunther. So it's going to be a direct kick right inside the Philly Textile zone, and Pedro DeBrito will set up to take it right there. Clock running 38:46 to go here in the first half. No score between Philadelphia Textile and the University of Connecticut. DeBrito lining things up, using his right foot, setting it in the area, headed up and away, and cleared away by Philly Textile. Kept it by Lyman, shot, and it just is saved by Michael Hughes. And Hughes will boot it out. Downfield, Charlie McSpirit gets a head on it, and is kept in play by Jimmy Lyman. Lyman sending it over to Carlos right around the midfield area. Passes over to Elvis Comrie, who kicks it off his heel to the right side. A nice pass to Eric Myron. Myron sending it over to Graziano Cornolo. Cornolo chipping in the area for Myron on the give and go, but intercepted there by Tom McDonald. McDonald will kick it over the end line, or make that the touch line, and the Huskies will have a throw-in right near the Philadelphia Textile bench. No score here in the early going. 38 minutes exactly to go here in the first half. Broadcasting from Alumni Field in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Under a copper beech tree.
Under a copper beech tree. Let's keep reminding you of that. And we have a push on the right sideline. Comrie with a direct kick. Kicks it right into a Ram player. Sending it back now to John Brubaker. Brubaker in the middle to Charlie McSpirit. McSpirit wide open. Sending it over to Pedro DeBrito, but cleared away by Dave Lambie, the midfielder out of Hamilton, Bermuda. And I believe we have a whistle on that play, and there's going to be some sort of foul called on the Huskies.
Nice play by Dave Lambie. He's marking Pedro DeBrito man for man. DeBrito right there, and had he got that shot, he would have put one right on net. But Lambie knocks it out of bounds, and I believe we're going to have a Philadelphia Textile goal kick.
That might exactly be what's lining up. We can't see exactly where they're placing the ball, but Michael Hughes now picking up and kicking it, so they started things up. And ball goes downfield, headed away by Graziano Cornolo over to Eric Myron. Myron heads the ball down to Elvis Comrie. Comrie has the ball stolen by Andy Wall. Wall playing with it on the right sideline. A Husky tangling him up. Ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Elvis Comrie. We're going to have a throw-in for Andy Wall. No, they're going to call a foul on Comrie, and instead it's going to be a direct kick for the Philly Textile on a Comrie push. And getting set to line one up is a Philadelphia Textile player. We cannot see his number. We'll just call the play as we see it. Now the ball chipped into the penalty area. Looking for it is a few Huskies along with number 17, Sean Fry. And he kicked up in the air, still loose in the area. Kicked away now by Charlie McSpirit over to Eric Myron. And the shot on goal by Tom McDonald was not good enough. So the Huskies come away with the ball. This is Billy Maroney. Maroney trying to head it back to Charlie McSpirit. And McSpirit gets it over to Jimmy Lyman. And the Husky offense will start to roll. Pedro DeBrito on the left side leaves it for Carlos. Carlos streaking up the sideline is run off the ball by Andy Wall. Let me correct myself. That's Billy Gunther. Ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Gunther. And the Huskies want to throw in right around the midfield area. And taking it will be Tim Maisley. Our halftime guest this afternoon is going to be Dennis Walsh, the president of the Friends of Soccer, the University of Connecticut Friends of Soccer, who made the trip all the way down to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And we'll talk a little bit about the organization and what they're doing for soccer in the area. This is Andy Wall coming down the right sideline, controlling the ball. Pass on the right side over for Tim Colleen. Colleen one-on-one with Tim Maisley. Maisley breaks up the play very nicely. The ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Maisley. And the Huskies will lose the ball to Philly Textile. Now a throw-in right in front of us. Right near the Husky goal. And taking that throw-in will be David Lambie. Let me correct myself, Billy Gunther.
Gunther had the throw-in before, and I tell you, he's well known around here. As you can tell, the fans know him well.
Gunther alone in front, looking for Tom McDonald. Broken up by McSpirit. McSpirit looking for the ball. Now kicked in the area by Gunther, but Renahan's there to make the save. And the Huskies again get out of it one more time. 35-16 to go here in the first half. No score.
Although I was going to mention, Gunther's well known around here for that long throw-in, and with the narrow field, he can put it right on net. That time he elected to go low.
Jimmy Renahan now punting the ball out of this area. As a matter of fact, he was over the penalty line, and there was no call for a violation. So I'm wondering what that was about. But a whistle downfield on play, and I believe we're going to have a foul called against the Rams. And the Huskies will have a direct kick right around the midfield circle, and taking it will be Charlie McSpirit. Harold Darak along with Mark Boudreau from Alumni Field in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. We'd like to take this time to thank Ray Dixon of the Caribbean Combo for letting us preempt him for the third consecutive week. McSpirit sending the ball into play. Andy Wall heading it away. Jimmy Lyman getting a foot on it, whistle on the play, and I believe we're going to have an offsides violation on the Connecticut Huskies, and Philly Textile will have the indirect kick right around their goal area. But as I was saying, you can hear Ray Dixon every 1 to 4 with his Caribbean Combo every Sunday afternoon. Also like to thank Al Connor, who is our engineer back at the station, doing a fine job bringing you Connecticut Husky soccer action. Tim Maisley gets a foot on the ball, can't control it, goes out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for Philadelphia Textile along the, I believe we could say, the near sideline, and taking it will be Billy Gunther. And Gunther again warming up. Every single time he goes into this little motion like an Al Lebowski, licking his fingers, putting the ball down on the ground, and Gunther now going for it. And Graziano Cornolo really upsetting him as he tries to run down and upset Gunther, and the Huskies are really trying to psych out Mr. Gunther from the Philadelphia team, and he sends a long throw into play, and Jim Renahan's right there to make it one more time, but that was a little bit dangerous as Steve Perillo was up in the air, and if he happened to get a head on that ball, Renahan would have been out of position, but Renahan was there to make it, and Renahan throws it right downfield for Tim Maisley, headed away, though, by Philadelphia Textile, goes all the way to Tim Killeen on the right sideline to Andy Wall, make that Dave Lambie. Lambie is run off the ball by number 6, Carlos up to Tim Maisley, and the Huskies take control of the ball. Cornolo downfield for Billy Maroney. Maroney looking to go one-on-one with Gunther. Sends a ball cross field for Elvis Comrie. Comrie settles it off his foot for Myron. Myron controls the ball, takes a shot on goal, cleared away by Gunther, and the Rams control it deep in their own territory. That's number 2, Paul Braden. But a whistle on the play, and Myron called for the push, so the Huskies will lose the ball, and it'll be a direct kick for Philadelphia Textile. 32 minutes, 54 seconds remaining here in the first half. Getting ready to take that kick looks to be the goalie, Michael Hughes. Hughes sends it back to a teammate who sends it back to Hughes, and Hughes will outlet the ball whichever way he feels like doing. Hughes wearing yellow with black trim. And Jimmy Renahan in gold with the blue and black trim. Kicks it all the way downfield. Charlie McSpirit head stepped the wrong way. Now Tim Maisley has it also headed by Tim Killeen. And a brilliant play by John Brubaker sending the ball over the goal line. It'll be a corner kick for the Philly Textile team, but nonetheless, Brubaker was there to clear the ball away from the goal mouth area, which could have been dangerous if any Philly was there to try to golf up that ball.
First corner kick of this soccer game will be had by Philadelphia Textile.
Andy Wall looking to take the corner kick. And here is a low liner in front, headed away by McSpirit out of the penalty area, but coming right to the foot of number 3, Dave Lambie. Lambie sends it in the area, but there's Renahan again to make the save, and the Huskies get out of this one. Renahan rolling it downfield for Elvis Comrie. Comrie taking control of the ball. Comrie settling it back for Charlie McSpirit. The Huskies starting to go with their offense. They're not used to this narrow field. They've been playing on some wide ones as of late, but Philly Textile in their home area, knowing what they're doing. Whistle on the play as Howard Shin is felled. I believe a Husky with the push.
I believe it was Jimmy Lyman with the push.
And taking the ball, setting it in play is David Lambie. Lambie down in the right corner, racing for the ball now, and he goes over the touchline before he can get to it. That ball sent in by Andy Wall. So the Huskies will have a goal kick in their first of the game.
Harold, we may have an interesting situation later on when Gunther may have another throw-in. Gunther has the potential to throw it right in the net, but since he is throwing out of bounds, the ball is considered inbounds once it crosses the vertical plane on the far sideline. However, it cannot go in the net unless it's touched by another player, or it can go in the net, but it won't be counted as a goal.
Whistle on the play, and Bill Maroney called for a jumping in, which he really cannot believe at all. He was running the other way, thinking that the call was against Philadelphia Textile, but no go. And the Huskies will have to retreat to the defense as number 5, Steve Perillo, sends the ball on the play. Low liner in front, looking for Tom McDonald. McDonald loses the ball, coming up with his Sean Fryatt, but Myron strips him away with the ball, and he gets it over to Elvis Comrie. And Comrie, doing some fancy footwork, almost has it stolen by Tom McDonald. He gets it over to McSpirit. McSpirit can't get the ball, coming up with his number 9, Colleen shot, and it goes wide to the right. As it just went right to the right, as a beautiful play by Sean Fryatt. Poor play by the Husky defense. Eric Byron looking to get the ball to number 5, Charlie McSpirit, but McSpirit could not come up with it fast enough, as the ball was just a little too short for him, and it was stolen there by Sean Fryatt. Fryatt got the ball over to a teammate who took a blast on goal, Tim Colleen, but he couldn't put the ball in the net. So this is Jimmy Renahan outwitting it downfield. Sends it all the way out to the midfield area, headed away by Philly Textile. Huskies are going into the win, we should mention, here in the first half. Now Philly Textile coming out with the ball. This is Andy Wall on the right sideline racing for it, but the ball goes out of bounds before he can get to it. Huskies with a throw in on the far sideline. Eric Byron looking to put the ball into play. Throws it right into Jimmy Lyman. Now we have a whistle, and they're saying, Eric, go back a few steps. You're running up the field. 29:35 to go here in the first half, and Byron gets it back to the goalkeeper Renahan. And the Husky offense will start up 120 yards, make that 110 yards away from the Graham goal. Renahan outlets it downfield. Huskies keep control of the ball, but only for a moment as it's stolen by John Short. Short downfield for a breaking Philly Textile player. This is Tim Colleen, but coming up to run him off the ball is Tim Maisley. A very good play by Timothy. And Maisley now fell on the play by Colleen. No call. Colleen comes up with a steal. Now a whistle, and there's the push. So the Huskies will take the ball and make that, since they're going to say it went out of bounds, no push called. So it's going to be a throw-in for Connecticut. McSpirit will take it. Philly Textile marking their men very tightly. And doing a fine job on the defense. Husky offense really not starting up at all here today. There's Charlie McSpirit throwing it deep downfield, headed up in the air by Tom McDonald. Now headed down and around, bouncing around loosely, looking for the headers. Tim Maisley, he gets it, but he heads it right to John Short, and Short controls it for Philly Textile. Short trying to go around DeBrito and Cornolo, can't do so. Cornolo kicks it away, but coming up with is David Lambie. Lambie has the ball intercepted by DeBrito, who kicks it over the end line, and Gunther quickly takes a fast throw-in to David Lambie on the right side. Lambie racing for a centering pass in front, and it goes by everybody as Renahan did not come out of the goal at all. To be there with Steve Perillo and Howard Chin, and they almost had headers in the goal. Renahan now discussing things with Lyman and McSpirit, not too happy with that last turn of events, as it seemed like the Philadelphia Textile offense was unmarked right around the penalty area.
I think they caught the Huskies off guard on that break, Harold, and Jimmy Renahan had a few words with his backs, and I'm sure they'll try to change that situation.
Connecticut has control of the ball. Graziano Cornolo down to Elvis Comrie. Comrie gets around Paul Braden. Coming down to the right side. He's being marked very tightly by Braden. That's Braden's assignment for today. Gets it down to Billy Maroney. Maroney and Eric Myron. They're deep in the Philly Textile area. Clear a centering pass, but it goes over the goal line. Let's see what last touched. It's going to be a corner kick as Philly Textile got a foot on it. And taking the first corner kick for the Connecticut Husky team today will be Pedro DeBrito on the right sideline. No substitutes have yet to come in this game as far as I have seen. We are not near the scorers table as usual. We're behind one of the goals near a very big Copper Beech tree with a lot of fans. And DeBrito's lining things up, sends a lobber in front, and it's headed down by Cornell, blocked away by Philly Textile, loose in front, cleared away by Andy Wall. And coming up with is John Brubacher trying to keep it in the area, but Wall again clears it deep downfield, and Huskies are going to have to retreat on defense. A collision on the field between Brubacher and a Philly Textile player. I believe that was Tom McDonald. Whistle on the play and a push called against McDonald. Let's correct ourselves again. Sean Fryatt, both of them wearing number 7. Fryatt also has a 1 on there, so 17-7. Fryatt gets the call on him, and the Huskies will take the ball and bring it back the other way. Jimmy Lyman chipping the ball deep downfield for a speeding Eric Byron, but head on it by a Ram defender, and Huskies' John Brubacher comes up, sends it into the area, whistle on the play, and a push on Tom McDonald. So Connecticut will again have a throw, make that a dangerous play called on McDonald. Connecticut will have a direct kick about 10 yards outside the penalty area with the clock running 26:25 to go here in the first half. No score. Harold Eric along with Mark Boudreau from Alumni Field in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Here's Pedro DeBrito setting up. Sends a low liner in front, looking for the headers. Comrie goes wide to the left. Kept in play by Myron. Myron's centering pass in front, but there's only Philly Textile players there. And it's all the way downfield where there's a race for it between Tim Maisley and the Philly player. Maisley kicks it deep downfield for Renahan, and the Husky offense will start it up one more time as Tim Colleen putting a lot of pressure on Maisley to get the ball back to goalkeeper Jim Renahan. Jimmy Lyman sending it upfield, intercepted by Lambie. Lambie now controlling the ball with his foot, dribbling the ball around, sends a pass downfield for Tom McDonald. McDonald still in his own area, sending it over for Steve Perillo. Perillo passing it back to McDonald, intercepted by number 7, Pedro DeBrito. And Connecticut coming back the other way. DeBrito right around the midfield circle. Right side over to John Brubaker. Brubaker dribbling now. He's in the Connecticut zone. Gets it over the cross line for Bill Maroney, but a push on Maroney, and the Huskies will bring it back the other way. 25-25 to go here in the first half. No score. Philly Textile riding a 10-game winning streak. The Huskies riding a 1-game winning streak and an unbeaten streak for quite some time. Since the San Francisco trip, I believe it's 9 games. Well, it was all the way downfield, untouched by anybody except the last player who sent it into play. A direct kick for Philly Textile. Huskies will have a goal kick. And taking it will be either Charlie McSpirit or Jimmy Renahan. Seems to be Charlie McSpirit. McSpirit lining things up. Huskies being marked very tightly as McSpirit gets it downfield right to the head of Tom McDonald. McDonald looking for teammate Sean Fryatt, but coming up with it instead is Andy Wall on the left side. Andy Wall has the ball kicked away by Carlos, but it goes right back to Paul Braden, and Braden controlling it for Textile. Braden right on the penalty area. Pass over to Fryatt. Cleared away by Brubaker. Now cleared nicely by Charlie McSpirit as it was almost stolen back by Philly Textile. Huskies controlling the ball. Billy Maroney sending it downfield looking for Carlos, but a Ram player intercepts it. John Short coming down with the ball. Short looking for another player. Touched by Graciano Cornolo, controlled by Connecticut for just a moment. Jimmy Lyman coming up with the header, but stealing the ball back for the team is Tom McDonald. McDonald sending it deep in his zone for Tim Colleen. Colleen trying to get around Comrie, and we're going to have a dangerous play called against Colleen. And the Huskies will have a direct kick as Comrie was arguing with the referee. He thought the play was called against him, but the referee was pointing the other way. So Huskies taking the ball via direct kick. Clock running down, 23:54. As we mentioned before, halftime guest will be Dennis Walsh, the president of Friends of Soccer. And we'll talk a little bit about the organization. Renahan kicks the ball into the wind one more time. Not far enough past the midfield line. The Huskies get control of the ball, though. It's Carlos getting it over to Billy Maroney. Maroney sliding the ball over to Charlie McSpirit. McSpirit coming right down the center of the field. McSpirit sees the break. Sends a weak shot on goal as he was tripped from the behind. No whistle in the play. Michael Hughes makes the easy save and kicks the ball downfield with the wind. There's going to be a break, and Renahan comes out and gets the ball before Sean Fryatt could take a shot on net. So alert play by Renahan as Fryatt was guarded by Brubaker. But with the wind at the back of the goalkeeper, Michael Hughes, he really booted that ball out of the zone. Now controlling the ball is Pedro DeBrito. DeBrito sending the ball, trying to get a centering pass in, but it's broken up there by Lambie. Lambie sending the ball downfield, looking for Colleen. Colleen now has control of the ball, and he sends a cross-field pass over for a teammate. That is Howard Chin, and Chin's on the break. Chin looks like to be in a 1-on-2 break. Chin on the left side, entering the penalty area. It's Carlos on him. Centering pass for number 17, Fryatt, cleared away by Brubaker, and it goes only over the end line. Last touch by Brubaker, and it'll be a throw-in right in front of the Connecticut bench with 22 minutes and 44 seconds remaining here in the first half. Clock still running down as a Husky player tying his shoes. I believe that's Billy Maroney. And getting set to take the throw-in is Billy Gunther. And Gunther, as we've mentioned throughout the whole day, very powerful arm as he warms up for this throw-in. He can throw it almost to the goal mouth, and that's a lot of problems for Connecticut. And here is the throw-in. Goes all the way deep downfield. Headed away by Elvis Comrie. Good play by the Connecticut player. Goes out of bounds. Now that
we have some Husky substitutions checking in for the Huskies. Number 22, Sean Sullivan. Number 15, Jim Dorsanio. And taking a breather will be number 10, Eric Myron. And number 11, Elvis Comrie.
They're going to say that after Comrie hit the ball with his head, it touched Tom McDonald. So the Huskies, instead of losing the ball to a corner kick, while the goal kick and take control of the ball. Ball goes down around the midfield area. Maroney collides with John Short. Short's going to be called for the dangerous play. So Connecticut will control the ball on a direct kick right around the midfield area. Clock running down, 21:45 to go here in the first half. Connecticut still tying this game up. It's 0-0. Charlie McSpirit sends the ball on the play. Left side over for Jimmy Lyman. Lyman looking to get into the Philly Textile defense. Makes a nice move. Shot on goal, but wide to the right. And it hits off the fence. And it'll be a goal kick for the Rams. And they'll see what they can do with the ball on the offense. While we have this time, let's say a warm hello to Maura and Janice and all the gang back at Hollister A from Ann and Karen, the two managers from the University of Connecticut team. They said if I did not make that mention to their friends that I would be shot on sight, so I figured instead of being murdered, I would make that a little hello. 21 minutes exactly to go, and taking that direct kick, or the goal kick, will be Michael Hughes. Hughes is a senior out of Medford, New Jersey, one of 3 seniors on the team. Since right around the midfield, a very poor kick, headed away by Carlos. Carlos whistled the play, and it's going to be a dangerous play against the man from Connecticut, so it'll be a direct kick by Philadelphia Textile. Right around the midfield line, right inside the Connecticut zone, and getting set to take it will be Steve Perillo. Connecticut coming off a very big win on Friday versus Penn State, 3-2. They had to come back to do that. Philadelphia Textile riding the 10-game winning streak. Perillo on the right side over to Braid, make that Lambie. Lambie in the corner looking for Colleen. He gets to Colleen. Colleen man-to-man with Tim Maisley. Colleen trying to get around Maisley, kicks it into Maisley, goes out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in for Philadelphia Textile. And that's all Colleen really wanted was a throw. Quickly, Gunther sends the ball in the play right in front of the area, and it's heading to the goal! A score by Philly Textile. I'm not sure exactly who did it. It was either Sean Fryatt or Tom McDonald, but nonetheless, the ball goes into net as Jimmy Renahan really upset with his defense as they were not set up fast enough as the ball went out of bounds.
And once again, that short, narrow field comes back to haunt you. I believe it was Sean Fryatt, number 17, but we'll have to wait for the official scoring on that one. At the 20:07 mark, the Philadelphia Textile Rams lead this one 1-0.
Well, we don't have an official scoring on that. 20 minutes and 7 seconds to go here in the first half. Huskies are going to have to play catch-up ball for the second game in a row. Make that the third game in a row. They're down to Alabama A&M also. And they will start things off at midfield with the goal kick. Coach Maroney not too happy there at the sidelines. The Huskies did not get back on defense fast enough when that ball went out of bounds. And we're going to have to give an assist to Gunther. Gunther took that throw-in. And we saw what a powerful arm he did have. It's dangerous for Connecticut when there's a throw-in deep down in that area. Huskies take the kick right around midfield, and they control the ball. Jimmy Lyman back to Timmy Maisley. Maisley retreating now, getting it over to John Brubacher. And the Huskies are going to try to do something on offense. They're down by the score of 1-0. Brubacher sends it downfield, looking for it, gets it to Jim Dorsano. Now run off the ball by a Textile player. Ball bouncing around loosely. Looking for it is Carlos Carlos along with Bryant takes control, heads it downfield, but it's stolen there by Tim Maisley. Maisley gets it up to Carlos. Carlos down to Pedro DeBrito, and the Connecticut offense will start up. Pedro DeBrito runs between 2 Philly Textile players, gets by a third one, coming down and loses the ball momentarily. Wall comes up when he kicks it downfield, but not far enough as Jimmy Lyman takes the ball away. Lyman now controlling right on the midfield line, gets over to Carlos. Carlos down for Pedro DeBrito, but he was offsides and he was caught. So the Huskies lose it to the second offsides violation of the day. And there'll be an indirect kick for them, and taking it short. Short sends it back to the goalkeeper, Michael Hughes. And Philadelphia Textile, with a record of 13-1-1, will start up the offense. Hughes now blasts the ball all the way down the field. And it's headed up in the air by Jimmy Lyman. Lyman trying to get it to Dorsano. Dorsano gets a head on the ball, gets it down to a Philadelphia Textile player, stolen by Carlos. And Carlos coming back the other way. Carlos on the breakaway, coming down to 1-on-2. He sends the ball just a little bit too far. Looking for Maroney, but a nice save by Hughes. As Maroney was just not a little bit fast enough, Hughes came out of the goal to make the play, and he quickly outlets it over to Tom McDonald. McDonald controlling it on the right sideline, but an offsides violation called on Sean Fryatt, who was breaking behind John Brubacher. So Connecticut will get the ball back with 18.5 minutes to go here in the first half, and the score: Philadelphia Textile 1 and Connecticut 0. And the last time these two teams met was in 1978 in the quarterfinals. Both looking to get to the Final Four in Tampa, Florida. And the Huskies losing a home game up in Gardnerdown in the snow, 3-0. DeBrito on the breakaway on the left side. DeBrito going 1-on-1 with Lambie. Shot on goal, but there was Hughes to make the save. Coming across was Jim Dorsano looking to do something with it, but he couldn't get there fast enough. Now the ball goes downfield. Connecticut keeps control, and Sean Sullivan has it. Sullivan scored a nice goal in the last game. Now he loses the ball, and Philly Textile on the breakaway. It's a 2-on-2 break. Coming with it is Tom McDonald on the left side. McDonald looking for Maisley. He kicks it into Maisley's feet, and Jimmy Lyman is going to take the ball and bring it back the other way.
A nice play by Timmy Maisley as he cut down the angle on that one by McDonald. And if he hadn't done that, McDonald would have had 3/4 of the net to shoot at.
Ball goes all the way back to Hughes, the goalkeeper. And Hughes gets it over to John Short. Short kicks it back to Hughes as he's being marked by Bill Maroney. And the balls will roll on the right side for Gunther. Gunther back to using it, and they're just playing with the ball back and forth until they see an opening as Billy Maroney keeps marking the goalkeeper Hughes and causing some sort of distraction. This is Gunther with the ball right around midfield, sending it deep down in the area. Carlos blasted out of the area. And it goes down to Jim Dorsano. Dorsano looking for a breaking Pedro Nebrito, but he really overshoots him, and Gunther comes up with the ball. Gunther pass back to the goalkeeper Hughes again. And again, Textile will start it up from there. Hughes downfield, headed down by Fry, and Fry gets the ball in the area, and Jim Renahan comes out and makes the play. Colleen was looking to gobble it up, could not do so. And this is Graziano Cornola back the other way. Cornola looking for a breaking Billy Maroney. Maroney bumping shoulders with John Short, but gets to the ball first. Gets around Short, coming down the left baseline. Shot on goal. Score by Dorsano, and the Huskies have tied it up.
An instant offense.
Instant offense for Jim Dorsano as Maroney. A beautiful play. Bump shot on the left side. Got around him. Sent a swinging pass in front. Dorsano was there to put it in the net. 16 minutes and 47 seconds to go. And the Huskies have tied this game up at 1 apiece. So what do you think about that one? Quickly, the Huskies get right back on that offense.
Beautiful play. Billy Maroney centering pass was just, right on the mark, and Jimmy Dorsano couldn't help but knock that one home.
So Philly Textile will now take the kickoff as the Huskies have tied it up, and they'll see what they can do. This game is pretty exciting so far here in the first half. Not a cloud in the sky. The sun is shining, just a little bit breezy, very much unlike the Penn State game. But it's still a thriller as this one is tied, which is very much like the Penn State game. Official time of that goal, 29-13, Jim Dorsano from Bill Maroney. And that's where we stand 1-1 here. The ball goes all the way back to the goalkeeper, Michael Hughes. And Hughes will control things for just a little bit for Philly Textile. Hughes boots the ball out of his zone, deep downfield. It's going to go all the way to the goalkeeper. He slips. Ball goes by, but then the nice play by the Spirit to clear it over the goal as was Jimmy Renahan running deep downfield, and he slipped on the play. And the ball went right by him. It was going right to the open goal, but McSpirit raced the ball before it got to the line, and he kicked it over the goal. I believe now they're saying there was an offsides violation. Let's see what's going to happen.
I don't believe if they did, it's a late whistle, and I tell you, it pumps the blood through your body real quick. If you have a weak heart, that's not the kind of play you want to watch too often, because that ball was net bound, and if it wasn't for Charlie McSpirit's last-ditch effort to knock it over the net, it would have been a 2-1 soccer game.
And let me tell you, that was last-ditch. It was right in front of that goal, and he just got it over the goal. He almost put it in himself. But Renahan slipped on the turf right around the area where they take the penalty kicks. And Huskies take control of the ball. They just get by another scare. Eric Myron around midfield, sending it over for Jimmy Lyman. Lyman looking for the break, but he can't get to the ball as Andy Wall beats him to it. And Philadelphia Textile will keep control of it. Textile, as we said earlier, riding that 10-game winning streak, tied with this game 1-1. This is Gunther. That play was set up by Michael Hughes, the goalkeeper, who sent it all the way down the length of the field with the wind at his back. But not even one Philly Textile player did touch the ball as it went all the way downfield. And Renahan slipped. Good play by McSpirit. Matter of fact, make that a great play by McSpirit to save the Huskies from a deficit of 2-1. Ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Brubacher. Throw in for the Rams. 14:50 to go here in the half. Again, we'll remind you our halftime guest, Dennis Walsh, the president of the Friends of Soccer. Ball sent into play. Philadelphia Textile controlling it for just a moment. Sean Sullivan almost coming up with the steal, but Wall gets the ball right back. Wall controlling it, sending it in the area, and Charlie McSpirit kicking the ball high in the air. Wall heads it back down, looking for McDonald, but Elvis Comrie steps between both of them. Comrie now loses the ball to Wall, but he can't get it to any one of his teammates. John Brubacher intercepts. Brubacher down to Carlos. Carlos upfield for Sean Sullivan. Sullivan trying to get it back to Carlos, does so as he was upended, but the ball now bouncing around loosely. Coming up with his Howard Chin of the Textile. Chin passing on the left side for Wall. Wall can't beat it before it goes over the end line. And there'll be a throw-in for Connecticut as Huskies will take control of the ball. I can't help to think what Erhard Kapp would do with this field. Kapp, always with that long throw-in, would be just as dangerous as Billy Gunther, but the Huskies really don't have any strong arms this year. Roger Vernes in the game, sends the ball in the middle of the field for Eric Myron. Myron looking for the ball, gets around one Philly Textile player, goes to the middle of the field, shot, and it's upended by Michael Hughes, who came out of the goal. The ball is still in play, and it goes between Braden and Elvis Comrie. Whistle and, I believe, a foul on the Huskies.
A nice save by Hughes there, and Eric Myron maybe waited a bit too long because he had the ball on his foot and he had it on the left foot, which is his power foot, but he waited a bit too long. A nice play by Hughes, who came out to meet Myron and knocked the ball away.
And Hughes has control of the ball for the Philadelphia Textile team. He's just rolling it along the ground. 13 minutes, 23 seconds to go here in the first half. It's Connecticut 1, Philadelphia Textile 1. Another powerful boot downfield. McSpirit gets a head on it. It goes all the way onto the right side. The Huskies will have the wind at their back through the second half, which is going to be a very big advantage, as we saw at Penn State. When they had the wind at their back, they scored the tying and winning goal at University Park. Now Gunther will have a throw-in on the far sideline. Gunther again warming up. Eric Byron this time is going to team up with him. And this ball is probably going to be sent right in front of the goal. Now Renahan's shouting out instructions. Here goes Gunther. And the throw goes right into the penalty area. Looking for the header is number 11, Chin, but headed away nicely by Jimmy Lyman. Ball kept in play by Gunther. Gunther gets it over to number 3, David Lambie. Lambie trying to get around Jim Dorsanio. Has the ball knocked away. Keeps control of it, but Pedro DeBrito now comes up and steals the ball. The Huskies on the breakaway. DeBrito coming down the middle of the field. Loses it for a moment. Trying to send it over to Conley, but he's tripped on the play by Gunther. And there's going to be a violation against, I guess, DeBrito. The play is still intact, and now they're blowing the whistle dead for an offsides violation on Tim Colleen. So Huskies
are on the far side of the field signaled something, but he didn't blow his whistle. So apparently, no violation on that side of the field. And the ball was coming back. They finally blew the play dead for offsides.
They're going to have to. Huskies are going to probably have to try to use that offsides trap just a little bit more. Is with that powerful leg of Hughes with the wind at his back. Ball seems to go downfield just a little bit too much. Here's Pedro DeBrito. DeBrito trying to get into the penalty area. He gets tripped on the play. The ball around loosely, but Jimmy Lyman comes up with it. Lyman dribbling the ball around 3 for the Textile players. He's failed on the play. No call. Now a whistle and a dangerous play called on Lyman, who is, I guess they're going to call it trying to trip somebody while he was on the ground. So Philly Textile will have
the wind at their back, Harold. You were mentioning, I tell you, another smart coaching move by Coach Joe Maroney will have the wind at his back in the second half.
And that's exactly what he did in the first game versus Penn State. Or the first game on this road trip versus Penn State, he won the toss, and he elected to put it on his back. Right now, Andy Wall with the ball right outside the penalty area, pass on the right side for Howard Chin. Chin has the ball kicked away by Eric Myron, and Myron's going to be called for a trip. And Myron now going at it with Chin, just a little push and shove match. And you never see that from the freshman from Falls Church, Virginia. But they're going to have a direct kick right outside the penalty area. The Huskies setting up a 2-man wall. Make that a 3-man wall. It's going to be Brubaker, Myron, and Carlos. Now Carlos leaves the wall. And DeBrito trying to set up that wall exactly perfect, as it's going to be a very good opportunity for the Textile Rams to take the lead in this game.
The Rams will have a set play on this, Harold, as the referee goes over to warn the Huskies that they have to be 10 yards back.
1-1's the score, 10:49 to go, 4-man wall. Here's the kick. It's Lambie on the left side over to McDonald, shot on goal, and there's number 1, Jimmy Renahan, to make the save. So Philly Textile's scoring threat goes by the books. 10:38 to go, Connecticut controlling the ball. We'd like to remind you the spectacular UCONN record show is on today from 1 o'clock to 8 o'clock in the Student Union building at the University of Connecticut. Steal on the play. This is number 11 coming down with the ball. Howard Chin. Chin sends it over to McDonald. Shot on goal. Goes wide to the right.
Saved by Harold Darak.
Saved by Harold Darak as he just takes a look at that play. But the Huskies will have the goal kick. And 10-12 to go. As I was saying, the spectacular UCONN record show. Sunday, November 8th, today between 1 and 8 o'clock in the Student Union building. You might want to check that thing out after you listen to the game, of course. Huskies with the goal kick. Less than 10 minutes to go here in the first half. And taking it is Charlie McSpirit. McSpirit sends a low liner downfield where it's kept in the play by David Lambie. Lambie downfield for Colleen. Colleen heads it up. And number 2, Timmy Maisley, kicks the ball right on the arm of Sean Fryatt. So the Huskies will have the ball via a handball call, but they're very lucky that it basically happened to hit Fryatt's arm, or it could have been a breakaway. And Jimmy Renahan will take it as Charlie McSpirit kicks the ball back to him. And Renahan puts a high lobber, which is not a very smart play as the wind's been taking everything back his way. Ball now loose in front, and coming up with his McSpirit. McSpirit gets it by 2 Philadelphia Textile players for Carlos. Carlos is breaking down the middle of the field. Carlos trying to get around one player, can't do so. Lambie comes up with the steal, sending it all the way back to Michael Hughes, and Hughes will take it as the goalkeeper.
On our last whistle, Jimmy Lyman checked out of the Husky lineup, and checking in was number 13, Eddie Lynch.
Huskies take the header on the Hughes kick, but the header goes right back to Philadelphia Textile, and controlling it on the right sideline is Lambie. Lambie going for a breaking Tim Colleen. Colleen can't beat the ball before it goes over the touchline. It'll be a throw for the Huskies. 8:55 to go here in the first half. Philly Textile 1, Connecticut 1. Textile first score unofficially by Sean Fryatt at the 24:53 mark. It was headed in by either Fryatt or Tom McDonald. We're not really sure, as we were a little bit shaded from that view. Then it was tied up by Dorsanio, his 5th of the season, at the 29-13 mark on an assist from Billy Maroney. Huskies deep in the Textile zone. Billy Maroney controlling the ball one more time. Shot on goal, and there's Hughes to make the save. It was a very weak shot, and Hughes was exactly where he should have been. He gobbled that ball up on the roller. Ball goes all the way downfield. Maisley gets a head on it. Now Eddie Lynch gets it off his chest, but it goes right to the head of Timmy Killeen. Killeen sends it back to Andy Wall, and Wall now dribbling in with his feet. Wall trying to get around Eddie Lynch. Does so, but nice clearing effort by Tim Maisley. Ball goes towards the middle of the field where Billy Maroney gets it, and he tries to send it down for Elvis Comrie, but it's broken up by a Philadelphia Textile player, now controlled by Connecticut on the rebound. This is Elvis Comrie. Comrie going for Maroney. Ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Comrie. And it'll be a throw-in on the near sideline for David Lambie, the senior midfielder from Hamilton, Bermuda.
Harold, we haven't seen that much of Graziano Cornolo this afternoon, as Jim Dorsani has been in the lineup since about the 40-minute mark.
Now Lambie exits, and Billy Gunther will come up and make that throw-in. Gunther with the first assist on his long throw-in. And this time he takes a long throw-in one more time, deep downfield, and he goes by everybody and goes out of bounds. So the Huskies will have a goal kick. Looking for the header again was Tom McDonald. Gunther is very powerful and very dangerous. Gets that ball right in front of the goal mouth area. And just a matter of a lot of tall players for Philly Textile to head it in. That's how probably they've been winning most of their games.
It's also a shot putter.
7:14 to go here in the first half. 1-1 here at Alumni Field in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Harold Darak along with Mark Boudreau and our technical director, Alan Connor, back at WHUS studio.
If you believe that, I've got some great swampland in Florida for sale.
Huskies kick the ball deep downfield, but it goes over the touchline. It'll be a throw-in right now by Gunther. It's going to be rolled near the field. Gunther gets it right in the middle, but he overshoots Sean Fry. Goes all the way to Eric Meyer in the corner. Meyer just lets it go all the way out of bounds. It looked like it was going to be a Husky throw-in deep down, or right to the near side of us. It went deep downfield, but the referee ruled it a Philadelphia Textile one, and Gunther quickly got control of the ball, similar to the way they scored that goal. Threw that ball over everybody. And Sean Fry was looking for the header, but it went way over him. It just went rolled right out of bounds, and the Huskies will have a goal kick. Charlie McSpirit takes a goal kick, whistle on the play, a push by Billy Maroney. Maroney can't believe that call. He's not too happy with it. He starts talking to the referee. He better watch himself, or the yellow card's going to be showing pretty soon. 6:15 to go. Direct kick by Philly Textile. John Short will put the ball into play. Short sizing things up. He sends a low liner in front. It's headed up in the air by Foy. The ball still bouncing around loosely. Headed by Roger Verdes. Shot on goal by McDonald. Whistle, and let's see what they're going to call.
I believe they're going to have a violation against. It looks like it's going to be against Roger. No, it's going to be against number 17, I believe, Sean Fryatt, as he pulled Roger Vernier off the play as Vernier went up. Vernier, that is, went up for the header. So the referee right on top of that play.
If it was on Vernier, it would have been a penalty kick since they were in the penalty zone. But
no, he was pointing in that direction at first, and I wasn't sure which way the call was going to go.
As we said, a lot of referees not really too readily wanting to make a call in the penalty area. And again, it happens one more time. Andy Wall gets a head on the ball. It's deep into the Philly Textile zone. Now ball bouncing all around. Looking for it is Sean Fryatt, but Charlie McSpirit gets there. Fryatt now intercepts the ball from him, sending it down on the right side for Lambie, but Eric Meyer steals the ball, and he's pushed from behind by Lambie. And it'll be a direct kick for the Huskies. Quickly, McSpirit sending it deep down the play for Billy Maroney, who was breaking, but headed away on a nice defensive play by John Short. Ball goes out of bounds. Huskies with the throw-in. Maisley throws it into to Pedro Nebrito, broken up by Lambie one more time, send it deep downfield. Roger Verdes will kick it to the goalkeeper, Jimmy Renahan, who picks it up on two bounces, and Renahan will start the offense up for Connecticut, 100 yards away from the Philly Textile zone. Ball bouncing around loose in front. Charlie McSpirit lobs it right up in the air, right around midfield, headed down by Billy Gunther. Ball goes to the foot of a Textile player. I believe that's number 9, Tim Killeen. Killeen on the right side over to Andy Wall. Wall trying to get around Myron, but Myron alertly steals the ball, kicks on the left side for the Nebrito, and the Huskies have a break. The Nebrito on the left side now looking to go into the middle, gets around one Philly Textile player, now goes into the corner for Bill Maroney, and they're going to slow things up completely. Maroney centering pass over to Carlos. And Carlos chips it on the right side for Roger Verdes. Verdes controlling right on the midfield circle. Goes over back to Carlos. Carlos getting around the Philly player, and he goes into the corner for Pedro Nebrito, but he was tripped up by Gunther. 4 minutes, 9 seconds to go in the half. That's unofficial, as we've said throughout the whole contest. The time is going to be unofficial. Now Charlie McSpirit getting set to take this direct kick, and the Huskies should have a lot of people right around the goal mouth area, and now they do. McSpirit sends a low liner in front. John Brubaker settles on his foot, trying to chip it into Billy Maroney, but he loses it. Gunther comes up, makes the play, sends it downfield, and looking to get it is number 9, Tim Killeen, but intercepting it is Tim Maisley. Maisley pushed on the play, and he's not going to get a call. Finally, they're going to say that the ball was out of bounds, last touch by Killeen, but that was a very malicious push by Killeen. And I thought they should have had at least a whistle and a violation, but there was none. Huskies take control of the ball. DeBrito with it right around the midfield line, trying to get around David Lambie. Can't do so. Lambie comes up with a steal. You're not going to see that happen much of the time, but Brubaker quickly steals it right back, passes over to Eric Myron. Myron goes between three Philadelphia Textile players. Now run up from behind by Gunther. No whistle. Now Philadelphia Textile players tripped up. No whistle. So now ball still in play. Philadelphia Textile Huskies. This is Lambie. Lambie coming down the line. Pass to the right side for Clean. He overshoots him. Clean with a centering pass looking for number 12 ball. Whistle. And let's see what we're going to have. Young Bum King was in the middle. We're going to have a hold on Young Bum King, who must have checked into play on that last whistle. But an exciting bit of action. 2 or 3 players fouled. No whistles called. Finally, at the penalty area, the Philadelphia Textile called for a hold. And with 2:45 to go, the Huskies will have a direct kick. Huskies taking a direct kick. It'll be Jimmy Renahan. Renahan on the right side over to Charlie McSpirit. They'll be very content to go in the locker room with a 1-1 tie, considering they'll have the wins at their back. And Coach Money should have a very good talk as they came back from that 1-goal deficit. And they have control of the ball. Ball now goes out of bounds. Last touch by the Rams. And the Huskies will have control on the throw-in. Taking it is Tim Maisley. Maisley gets it down to Elvis Comrie. Comrie has the ball stolen from him. He's pushed on the ground. No call. And Textile Rams coming back the other way. Sean Fryatt now controlling the ball. Fryatt going downfield. Charlie McSpirit nutmegs him as he tries to steal the ball back. And he gets it over to Carlos. Carlos sending the ball downfield, but it's off the back of Tom McDonald. And the Rams coming back the other way. Eric Myron being called for a push as falling to the ground.